Samantha and Lila had been inseparable since kindergarten. Their friendship was legendary. People often joked that if you wanted to know something about Samantha, just ask Lila, and vice versa. They shared secrets, dreams, heartbreaks, and even silly arguments over nothing at all. They had each other's backs, no matter what. But friendship, no matter how strong, sometimes meets challenges it cannot withstand. It all began in their final year of college. Samantha had been focusing on her studies, burying herself in books and assignments. That is when Aiden arrived, a transfer student with a quiet confidence and a smile that could light up a room. Their first meeting was innocent enough. Samantha had been struggling with a difficult economics assignment, and Aiden, noticing her frustration, offered to help. "Hey, need a hand?" he asked, tilting his head with a smile. Samantha had felt her heart skip a beat. His voice was warm, calm, and comforting, yet there was a spark in his eyes that made her chest tighten. Over the next few weeks, Aiden became a regular part of Samantha's daily routine. They studied together, shared lunch, and slowly, conversations spilled beyond academics. They talked about dreams, fears, and the kind of future each imagined for themselves. Samantha felt seen, really seen, in a way she never had before. Excited, she confided in Lila about Aiden. "He is different, Lila. I don't know, maybe I like him," Samantha said one afternoon, her hands shaking slightly as she sipped her coffee. Lila smiled, the supportive best friend everyone envied, but behind that smile, a shadow flickered in her eyes. As days turned into weeks, Samantha's feelings for Aiden deepened. She couldn't stop thinking about him. His laugh, the way he brushed his hair from his forehead, even the little quirks that made him uniquely him. She assumed Lila would be happy for her, that she would celebrate this blossoming romance. But Lila had her own secret, a feeling she had tried to bury. She had noticed Aiden too. From the first time she had seen him in the library, she tried to ignore the pangs of jealousy, telling herself that Samantha had the first claim. But the more she saw them together, the harder it became to suppress the attraction. Then came the cafe. Samantha had nervously invited Aiden for a casual coffee after class. The cafe was warm and cozy, with the faint smell of roasted coffee, beans, and pastries lingering in the air. They laughed, shared stories, and Samantha felt her heart soar. She didn't know it yet, but Lila had followed her, claiming she had errands nearby. From a distance, Lila watched Samantha and Aiden's hands brush together. A tiny spark of envy and desire ignited within her, one that refused to be ignored. That night, Lila lay awake in bed, her mind a battlefield of loyalty and forbidden feelings. She told herself she would never betray Samantha, but fate, as it often does, had a cruel sense of timing. The next day, when Aiden approached Lila for help on a group project, she found herself alone with him. "Thanks for helping me with this, Lila. I don't know what I'd do without you," Aiden said, smiling softly. Lila laughed, her heart racing. "You would probably survive, somehow," she teased, brushing off the tension she felt, but lingering too close, laughing at his jokes, letting her hand brush against his. It all escalated in ways neither expected. It began with small texts, innocent conversations that lingered longer than necessary. And then one night, a message came that changed everything. "I need someone to talk to. Can you meet me?" Samantha was asleep, unaware that Lila and Aiden were meeting in secret. Weeks went by, each filled with small betrayals Samantha couldn't name. Aiden seemed distracted, sometimes cold. Samantha's calls went unanswered for hours. When she confronted him, he always gave vague excuses. "Busy with classes," he would say, a faint unease in his voice she couldn't place. Then the inevitable moment came. Samantha, brimming with excitement, decided to surprise Aiden at the cafe. Her heart was full of hope, but what she saw instead shattered everything. Aiden sat across from Lila, their heads leaning close together, Their laughter echoed softly, a sound that once would have filled Samantha with warmth, now twisted into pain. She froze at the doorway, her chest tightening as the world seemed to stop. "Hey, Aiden, Lila," she whispered, her voice trembling. Both looked up, startled. The sight of Samantha caused a fleeting guilt dot in Lila's eyes, but it vanished almost immediately, replaced with the thrill of conquest. What's going on?" Samantha's voice shook. Lila's eyes flickered, almost tearful. I didn't mean for this to happen, but Aiden looked between the two of them, unable to meet either's eyes. "Samantha, I didn't mean for it either. It just happened." Samantha felt the ground fall out from under her. Her best friend, her anchor, had betrayed her. The one person she thought she could trust, completely her childhood confidant, had taken the one thing she loved most, and Aiden had let it happen. The weeks that followed were a blur of heartbreak and solitude. Samantha avoided both Aiden and Lila, retreating into late-night walks and endless assignments to escape the gnawing emptiness inside her. Lila tried to apologize, but her words rang hollow, her actions betraying a satisfaction that Samantha could never forgive. Months later, Samantha accepted a hard truth. Betrayal often comes from the places you trust the most. Lila and Aiden were together now, wrapped in a happiness Samantha couldn't touch. Yet she had begun to heal, slowly, learning that the heart's wounds can close even if the scar remain. Lila learned a lesson too. Winning sometimes comes at a price too high to pay. She had the man she wanted, but she had lost the person who mattered most. And Aiden, he learned that a heart divided can never truly rest. Life continued painfully, beautifully, and irrevocably altered by choices, desires, and the fragile nature of trust. In the end, there was no grand revenge plots or reconciliations. Only lessons, scars, and the quiet realization that sometimes the people we love most are capable of the deepest betrayals.